What is up, YouTube? So today we're going to be going over the startup, taxi and takeoff, and the shutdown procedures of the A-18C Hornet, which was used by the Navy since 1984 up until 2019. So just to start, this has nothing to do with any of it, but if any of you are wondering how to change the livery on your plane, see, I'm set to the default livery, so you want to hit the slash that is under the backspace, whichever that one is. I'm not 100% sure, but correction, currently we cannot do it because we don't have power to our comms. So very first thing, turn on the battery with a right click. That'll set it to on. So now we can contact the ground control, and we can go to rearm and refuel with F1. Now here you'll see select delivery. You can select whatever you want. Like, you can be Iceman, Maverick, Viper. However, I'm going to go with the Blue Angels because why not? Board number, you can set it to whatever, so I'm going to set it to that because I can.
Request rearming.
So we're now the Blue Angels. Okay, so after we start the battery, we want to make sure the brake pressure is around 3,000, which it is. The gauge is right here on your left next to the emergency brake. Now we want to do the fire and air bleed test systems. So it'll be right here, right underneath the air brake. So we're going to start with test A.
Engine fire left. Engine fire left. Engine fire right.
It does take a little bit, so
Right. APU fire. Rearming complete. APU fire. Bleed air left.
ignore the ground crew.
Bleed air left. Bleed air right. Bleed air right.
After you hear bleed air right for the second time, I'm going to wait 10 seconds. There is a time, like a clock right here, just in case. So it's been about 10 seconds. We're going to do test Bravo.
Engine
Test B.
fire left. Engine fire left. Engine fire right. Engine fire right. APU fire. APU fire. Bleed air left. Bleed air left. Bleed air right. Bleed air right.
Okay, now that both of those are done, we're going to turn on the APU, auxiliary power unit, which is down and to the left, right next to the throttle, right here. So we're going to turn that on, and we're going to wait for the ready light to light up, which it will take a few seconds. So, see, it is now ready. So we're going to crank the right engine with a right click. Now we're going to see the percent throttle here. So as soon as it's 20, you're going to want to set it to idle. So you can go right shift home and see how the temperature is increasing and the throttle percent, engine RPM percentage. So once it's hit 60%, you're going to want to bleed the air. So it has hit 60%. You're going to left click this knob and then right click to do a full 360. And now you can put it back in. Right click to go from normal all the way through back to normal. Now that that is done, we're going to turn on our DDIs, our HUD and our MCPD. So I'm going to start with the HUD. So the HUD brightness dial is right here. It's currently set to off, so you scroll up on your scroll wheel, it turns up the brightness. And for the MCPD, same thing as DDI, except the knob is right here. Same thing as your HUD, and the knob is right down here. See, it says off in brightness. I just go full brightness because it's typically easier that way. And for the DDIs, off night day, depending on what time of the day you're starting. If you're starting at night, you set it to night. If you're starting at day, set it to day. And I'm starting in what appears to be, I don't really know, but it's daytime. Okay, now that both of those are on, we're going to set the left DDI to the FCS support page. So you see right here how it says TAC right above the menu. We're in the tactical menu. So we're going to press the menu button. Now we're in the support menu. From there we're going to want to go off to the right where it says FCS. Click that. Now we're in the FCS menu. So from there we're going to press the master caution button to get rid of that light. However, right here it says all of this, it will change, but we're going to press it once again. There. So now that we have done that, we're going to set the INS switch, which is down here off to the right. INS switch right here to ground. So we're going to right click twice to set it to GND. From there, we're going to crank the left engine. So it did not read that. Okay, left click to start to crank the left engine. Gonna want to watch the RPM here. It's at 25. Now you go right alt home, and as you can see here, it has set the engine to idle. Now we're gonna wait for it to get to 60%. However, this time we're not going to bleed any air systems. Now once it hits 60, okay, it's hit 60. So you see all of these X's here. We do not want those there. So we're just going to look down a bit, off to the left a bit. You see how it says FCS reset, or at least reset, on the FCS section. Just gonna click and hold it for a few seconds. Okay. Now we're gonna look up. All of them are gone. So from there, we're gonna turn on OBOGS, or the oxygen flow system. Right here, off on the back, way towards the back. Gonna set that to on. Okay. And then from there, we're going to turn the radar to operate. So it'll be right next to the INS switch on the right side. Right here, operate. 2 right mouse clicks to operate. Now we're going to set the flaps, which all the way up. So the flap switch is right here. However, if you have it bound to a key, that is just fine. And also, that noise was normal. That's just the APU turning off. So I'm going to right click it twice to set it up to auto. Now from here, we're going to go to the FCS bit menu on the right DDI. So we're already here at the bit failures. That is fine. We're going to go right here where it says FCS MC. Now we're at the FCS MC or FCS bit menu. So for this next step, if you're in VR, you can do it that way, but you're going to have to hold this switch. So the switch you're going to want to hold is right back here where it says FCS bit switch. So if you're in VR, you can hold it using VR. However, if you're on keyboard or anything else and you don't have it bound, you hold Y. So I'm holding Y and it went up. Now we're going to perform the, I don't remember what it's called, but it makes sure that all the control surfaces. So just click that, let go of Y. Now if you saw that it switched to in test. Now if you come out here, you will see that it's testing all the control surfaces. Give it a little bit. Alright, we're going to wait for it to beep a lot. And once it beeps, there we go. It'll change the in test for FCS-A and FCS-B to go. So from there, we're going to want to set the flaps down to half. So this time I'm just going to use my mapping. And as you saw, the flap switch went down. Now we're going to set the trim to 12. So for this, you can just tap the V. Well, correction, you'll set the trim for the stab to 12. So right here, where it says 0, stab 0, just tap the V as in Victor, and it sets it to 12. You want the rest of it to be 30, except LEF. So from there, you're going to want to uncage the SAI. So you just right click it, give it one small mouse click, sorry, not mouse click, scroll wheel, and it's gone. It's now uncaged. So from there, we're going to close the canopy. In reality, you can close the canopy whenever. However, I just like waiting to make sure everything is like sounding good. canopy is now closed. So from there we're going to set the INS switch again down on the right from ground to nav. And then we're going to set the left DDI. We're going to go to the TAC menu. So right here says TAC, but the TAC menu. We're going to set you HUD because on landing and takeoff, you want it HUD on your DDI just in case your HUD has failures. And then on the right DDI, we're going to go to the support menu. So here at the TAC menu, just click the menu button once more with the support menu. And then you're going to want to go over to where it says FCS, click that button. Now we're at the FCS support menu. You want that up just to make sure everything is functioning as it should. Now the last step before taxi, we're going to disengage the emergency brake by one left click. It's now disengaged. We're good to go. Now we're going to start taxi. So when taxiing, you want to keep the throttle at 70. You don't want to go any higher than 75. So I'm going to zoom out just a touch so I can still see the 75%. Now it may take a little bit to get there, however, that is standard procedure. And also, while you are taxiing, you want to make sure your nose wheel steering is all functional, and your nose wheel steering high is functional. And to engage that is, if you have it bound, use that button. However, if you don't, it will be S on your keyboard. S as in Sierra. Or sock. Now, once we get to the runway, we're going to pull off the throttle. We're going to stop a little bit before we get there. Okay. See, right before the runway. Going to stop. Okay, now we're going to, if you're flying at night, or doing a night takeoff and landing, you're going to want your lights on. So, your landing and taxi lights are right here, next to your flaps. And your formation, navigation, and position lights are all right here. This formation, position, and navigation is right here behind the throttle. And your interior lights are all right here. So you have consoles, instrument panel, flood, all of it. However, I am flying during the day, so I'm not going to turn them on. But the very last thing we do, is we set the altimeter to 29.9. So, wrong button. I'm going to zoom in a bit so we can see it. So right here you see altimeter, it's 29.92. We're going to want that 29.90. Unfortunately, it's hard to get it like spot on, so it's either slightly off in either direction. So I'm going to set it to this one because I prefer that one, I guess. I'm going to reset my view, zoom out a bit. Okay. There we go. Now from there, again, when taxiing, you don't want any more than 75% throttle. Before entering the runway, you want to arm your ejection seat with this. Now it's armed. And you want to lock your straps, so that your straps are now locked. So from there, if you want to be realistic, you can technically use the like ATS comms menu. However, I'm not going to do that right now because they are somewhat annoying. So you want to, when you taxi, you want to line up with the center of the runway, so all those lines, and you want to stop on the numbers. So I'm on the numbers, and I'm stopped. From here, you want to hold the brake and set the engine to 80%. And the reason to do this is make sure it's functional, nothing's wrong with it. See, it's set to 80, you want to make sure right here that it's not above 800 degrees. So it's not. Now you just release brake, go full throttle. Because the F-18C Hornet, you always want to take off with the afterburner on. And then you just give some slight pullback on the stick. Once you're in the air, landing gear up, flaps up. And your landing gear is right here. Now you're in the air, and you will see in a little bit that the two DDI menus will automatically switch to, I believe, I guess you can say your quote-unquote inventory of weapons of what you have. and then it'll switch onto the right onto radar. So we're back. However, I'm going to, oh, there's the airport. I'm going to cut a lot of throttle and everything else so I can slow down in time. But for the landing, I am not instructing you how to land because I personally absolutely suck at it. However, you want to be decently low and you want to touch down your wheels at about 170 to 180 knots. And the stall speed of the FA-18 Charlie Hornet is about 136, 138 knots. So if you fall anywhere below that, you are going to start losing altitude rapidly. Again, do not do what I'm doing because this is a terrible, this can be a terrible landing because I'm going in super fast. Speed brake is engaged, also known as air brake. Yeah, as you can tell, I'm coming way too fast for this, so I'm gonna lower my landing gear, lower my flaps all the way. I'm just gonna pray, basically. Just gonna pray. And also, once you're at a certain altitude, your air brake will automatically disengage itself. So I recommend constantly disengage, engaging it, automatically disengage. So, oh, no, okay. I apparently was not coming in super fast. I'll give it a bit more throttle so I don't stall. Now I'll cut off the throttle. You see the E bracket. If you want to actually learn how to land, I'd recommend finding a different video. Cannot recommend one to you right now because I'm not sure. But again, this is a terrible landing because I'm not even on the runway. But, oh well. See, air brake, fully engaged. And once you're on the ground, the air brake will stay engaged, as you can see. So, from here, you just want to taxi, I guess. So, don't want to taxi anywhere over 75%. So, as you can see, I fully cut my throttle. I'm at 60. So, I'm just going to quick taxi to the parking area, and then we will start the shutdown procedures. So, I'm going to just keep cruising along here. See we're coming towards the end of the runway. Again, I know that landing was terrible. Don't follow any of my tips except for touchdown speed and landing speed. Sorry, stall speed. Why is my right throttle not working? Why is that not working? I'm concerned. I'm very concerned now. I think I broke my nose with steering. I broke it. So, again. Don't Michael it. There we go. Apologies for that. Do not land how I just landed, because as you can tell, I broke the nose wheel steering, so it steers super slow. Oh, never mind. I think it was just a glitch. It works fine now. Ignore what I just said then. And don't do what I just did and taxi at 95%. So once we get there, we're gonna park it. So for that, you're gonna want to utilize your nose wheel steering. Just gonna disengage that. I guess we're drifting it now. Yee. So gonna slow down a bit. Okay. And also, once I get a bit more familiarized with the weapon systems, I will probably do a video on at least the mounted gun and the sidewinders. I still do not currently know how to use the ARAM and the sparrows, but that's something I gotta learn. Okay, so I'm parked. Now I can disengage the air brake. And from here, the very first thing you want to do is parking brake. So left click, pull it out. Now I'm gonna disengage the ejection seat and unlock my straps. Now, just to be safe, I'm going to go into the air traffic control menu, contact the ground crew and request wheel chocks be placed. So if you watch down around the wheels, you'll see them be placed. Okay, now I can't move at all. Okay, from there we're going to set the flaps up to auto. And then we're going to cage the SAI. So we're just going to pull it out, left click, and if you release it, it goes back in. So left click, one small mouse wheel scroll up, and that's it. Now we're going to set the INS to off, so left click all the way to off. Now turn the radar off, and the comms on startup, even though it is not shown, they are right here. So you see the one, you're just going to turn it all the way off. Now it's done. All the way done. Now we're going to turn off lights. I do not have any lights on, but interior lights right here. And then we have landing taxi, and then the exterior. From there, we're going to turn off the OBOGs, oxygen flow, shut off. Now, from there, we're going to open up the canopy with a right click. Going to wait a bit. Going to look up a bit. Now it's open. From there, we're going to shut off the right engine. So we're going to go right shift N. You'll hear it shut off, and you will see the RPM drop. From there, you see the hydro pressure meter. We're going to drop the hydraulic pressure. And how to do that, you just take your control stick and just wiggle it a lot. And that is how you're going to drop the hydraulic pressure. And as you can see, one of the knobs is dropping, the other will drop eventually. However, we will move on to other steps before that happens. The more aggressive you wiggle it, the faster it will go. But once it's about 2,000, then it will start dropping rapidly. There we go. And it will settle right above 0. Oh, sorry. Did not mean to hit my mic. Now we're done there. Now we're going to shut off the displays and our HUD. So displays, shut off the 2 DDIs, shut off the MCPD, shut off our HUD. Now from there we're going to shut off the left engine. So right alt end. We're going to hear it shut down. And we're going to see the RPMs drop. And the very, very last set, I'm going to shut off battery with a left click. Do not set it into the ride mode. That is on me. I clicked too many times. But that is how you shut down a F-18 Charlie Hornet, the Navy's old retired fighter jet. So, if you liked this video, or if you found it useful, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. And if you want to see more content like this, I am live on Twitch fairly often at twitch.tv/satinbandgeek. And join my Discord, and I hope to see you guys later. Also, before we go, side note, if any of you are wondering what stick and throttle I'm using, I am using the NXT Gladiator Evo Premium in my right hand, and the NXT Gladiator Evo Omni throttle in my left for my throttle. I will put pictures of them up right now. I'll put links in the description. That is it for now. See you in the next one.